breaking through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?
Oh God, it just finishes too abruptly. I'm going to have to fix that one day. Good evening and welcome to Radio Apocalypse and the round table, which is actually just two sides of the table tonight because it's really just the Barry and the Mo show, which is the Mosho. Mosho, is that not some Japanese dish? Mosho, Moshi, I don't know. Good evening, Barry. How are you, sir? He's doing this on purpose again. He knows I can hear him. Oh, his mic's off. Hello.
I'm extremely tired. It's been a long day.
Yes. How was your first day at work? Did you survive?
Very frustrating. Computer wasn't set up at all. So, yes, I've got to fight that and play with that tomorrow as well.
It's always a pain in the neck when that happens. And we've had the Cognac just join us in the green room and into the studio now. Good evening, Mr. Cognac. You need to switch your mic on, brother, though. I can't do that from here.
How is it going?
It's going good. What was that? Was that a scream at your end?
That was my wife's. That was my wife sneezing.
Tell her the world says bless you. The whole world.
She's downstairs.
Oh my God! I actually thought it was. It sounded like somebody was like in pain. Is she okay? Did you not like sneeze out half a lung there? You know?
No, that's just the Sarah sneeze. That's what she's like.
Oh, bless her. Bless her. I was watching Cognac live on TikTok this morning, and he was.
I thought you said this was a family show.
Oh, right, okay. No, that was Cognac on OnlyFans, mate. You know, the only one of the hosts that has his OnlyFans site. And his mic's off still again. He can't reply to us.
Yeah,
there he is. But no, he was really good. But it was just because of background sounds. I'm sitting there and I'm doing something else, and I've got the headphones in, and all I hear is a whoo whoo. Do you have train lines near your house, Cognac?
I do. We less than a quarter mile away.
Wow, because even being a quarter of a mile away, I could hear it clear as day. I could hear a woo woo. It wasn't like a high pitched woo woo.
It's the RV.
Like
it's the RV. This thing has some weird adaptability to take all noises from the outside, somehow amplify to the inside really well, but the noises from the inside out barely make it like a foot out the RV.
Wow, insanity, brother, insanity. No, it was it actually kind of like I was busy doing something. I can't remember what I was doing, but it was just that noise. It was so unusual because it didn't sound like a UK train. UK trains don't sound like that whatsoever.
That's funny.
Yours, it sounded like a proper big freight train sound from something that the hobos would jump in. What the fudge cake was that? Is that you playing with your strings again, Barry?
That's my train impression.
Alright, okay. It didn't sound... Okay. Well,
and then all the hobos come running down.
Yep.
Come to the hobo.
It's going to be one of those nights. I can just feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. Right, Cognac, did you get a chance? You know what? We've not even said hi to everybody. Elliot, Mr. Superfan. How are you, sir? Did you know that Elliot watched me on my live on TikTok this morning as well? Unbelievable.
Brilliant.
He is. He's some kiddo. He's brilliant. He's fast becoming. He's rivaling. We might even have to give him a bit on the show. You know, he's not old enough, so he can't come on. But he's getting to that point. Are you okay?
No.
What's wrong, Ruin?
I can't watch anything.
Why not?
This is not going on.
Is it not out batteries? Is it out batteries? Plug it into that bit.
Showing. No, it's already plugged into the
One second. I need to do the charging up thing for one of my kids. Hold on, I need to stick a USB. Is this
Charging up.
Look. This one is a high
Charging
voltage
up,
one.
do.
There you go.
Charging up, do.
That's what I was using last night. There we go.
You got
He
it.
is steam powered.
Charging
It
up.
glitched. What's glitched, Elliot? Was it the TikTok this morning that was glitched, or was it? Are we just all glitched just now? Because I feel kind of a bit glitchy myself. Hey, listen, I'm not getting distracted with nonsense chit chat. We're here to talk about the old guard, but we'll come to that in a second. We've got to say hello to Elliot and everybody else that is there, and then, because that's what's on my notes at the side of the computer, it says, say hi, introduce yourself, introduce the guests. I've got a running format. I never stick to it, but it's sitting on the side of the computer. Every night it's there, but I just don't use it. God.
I made a big list of things that we should actually do.
Oh God. At the top of the list is put Mojax in a cage, leave him alone, and
No one
usually
ever
poke him with a
follows
stick.
the script.
No,
That's
the
key.
first thing on my list is stop making lists you're not gonna read.
Yeah, I have to do things like that too. Top of the list. Make sure you do your to-do list, and that's the end of it. You know, it's crazy. Right. So, The Old Guard. This was a movie that just came out on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, and I watched it the first week it came out, then also watched it the second. I've actually watched it 3 times now. But I also remember the graphic novels, stroke comic books, whatever you want to call them, that this was based around. And
I did not know it was a comic book.
yeah, it was a wee bit of a comic book, yes.
Everything's a comic book.
Oh yes, everything's a comic book. Oh, this was a good story though. It was just a bit different. It was like kind of like Highlander without the competition. You know, there can be
Yeah,
only 5,
without the there
you
can
know?
only be one thing. There was like a few.
Yeah,
It's like there can
Um,
only be a
you mean-
few.
Do you mean like Highlander without the rewriting all the other Highlanders as you went along?
yeah. Can you imagine that? That
They
was
made
just shit.
they make what 3? Was it 4 movies and then made a TV series that completely and utterly contradicted all the movies.
Yep. The first one should have been left alone with nothing else. Bang. Great movie. Superb movie. Completely
I mean, you know,
dated.
It's got a Spaniard with an Edinburgh accent. I mean, what more do you want?
I know. And a Frenchman
Oh,
playing the Scotsman.
Charlize Theron.
No, we're talking about Highlander still, mate. About
Oh.
Sean Connery playing a Spanish dude that basically did all his training in Japan, had a katana, or a wakizashi, sorry, which is a smaller sword of it, and had a Frenchman playing a Scotsman with a really poor Scottish accent, and then the Scotsman playing the Spaniard with a non-existent Spanish accent. I mean, you couldn't have done better. Have you never seen Highlander before, Cognac?
I've only so the Highlanders I have seen are only renditions of the original story. So I've never seen the original Highlander.
Right, you need to go and we should just do a special bit of homework for you, where basically by this Friday, you need to have watched the original Highlander. It's only about an hour and a half long. It's a great movie.
The
It's-
Kurgan is amazing.
Ah, he's superb. Who is it that plays him again? What was his
Clancy Brown.
name? That's right, Clancy.
And he does an absolutely stellar job in the Detroit Becoming Human computer game.
No way, he's in that.
He is in that. He's one of the central characters.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he's essentially just Clancy Brown, and he's amazing.
Wow.
Epic.
And yeah, Elliot's talking about and no Kurgan as well in the other ones. There was other bad guys, but the Kurgan was the best. He was a proper rock and roll villain. You know, he was really, really cool. I've got to say that he's
Wait,
probably one of my better.
Rock and roll, like post-apocalyptic,
No,
almost
just-
Mad Max dressed up kind of thing.
Well,
looking?
kind of, but he was a rock and roll villain. He was like he just didn't give a shit. You know, you could just imagine him sort of like smashing up a hotel room, but because he's the Kurgan, he'd smash up the whole hotel. You know, that's the kind of rock and roll person he was. You know?
So the version I saw of it was animated, so it actually did that part actually rung a bell because that was a part of the animated movie.
Hold on.
I
Hold
saw
on.
was an animated movie.
There's an animated Highlander. What, did I sleep through that?
With the yeah, and the ability they added a little more of the beheading actually gives you the power of the immortal you take kind of thing, unless that's also a part of the original story.
I don't know. That's kind of. I'm gonna have to go and find. Yeah, well, yeah. The beheading is where the power comes from. You know, they cut off the head. It's like squeezing a big zit. Out comes the power. They suck it all up. Bang! They're more immortal than they were before. You know.
I know. I like that. They're more immortal than they already were.
And then all of a sudden, they write the sequel, and it becomes so completely and utterly batshit crazy and makes no sense because they just completely undo everything that happened in the previous one.
Oh, Fist of the North Star.
What Fist of the North Star is what's that? What's that?
It's a Japanese animation that kind of like takes they totally stole the plot from that in a sense and used it, but in a different way.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's more it's more pressure point oriented. It's kind of cool.
Right, I tell you what. You watch the original Highlander, I will watch Fist of the North Star, okay, and we'll discuss the similarities on Friday's show, mate. That's what we have to do. That'll be great. Yeah, we're not even talking. Awesome. Good evening, Nyla. Sorry, I just saw you pop up on the screen there just now. I hope you're good. Thank you for joining us and coming to keep these weary chaps under control, if that is even remotely possible. I just don't know. But no, we kind of got carried away with me from talking about Highlander, from talking about the old guard being sort of like immortals from Highlander, but without the competition and the beheadings. We should really just talk about Highlander. This would be brilliant. But we're not here to talk about Highlander. We are not. We're here to talk about the old guard. Directed by Gina Prince Blythewood. And written by Greg, is it Rucka? I can't remember. Based on his comic book of the same name. Charlize Theron in the lead. Interesting fun fact about Charlize Theron. She was in the same school as my children's mother. And not as a guest or somebody coming, but was actually a pupil a few years older than three of my kids' mums. Not my Russian wife, but the previous lady that I had too many babies with. Yes, well, not too many babies, just in case you think that you're being sidelined there, Ruin. Didn't mean that. Actually, no.
Replace them all!
Replace them all with those funny robots that do as they're told. Cyborgs. Why are you sleeping on the floor like that? You made a bed that way and you're now lying
I didn't
down.
realize the name Okay, so I didn't know the actors to this. This was all very new to me actors wise.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that the girl, so Andy, that's Charlize Theron. I thought I'm so bad. My brain just told me Charlize or how do you say it? Charlize?
Charlene. Charlize or Charlize Theron.
Okay,
Charlize Theron.
I'm so lame. I literally thought that was one of the male actors' names because my brain didn't like even peg the
yeah.
So bad. I thought it was like Charlie.
Charlie Theron.
I thought it was
Hey,
okay.
Charlie.
So that was Andy. That's the girl. That's the female actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
Andromo and what's it? Andromish. She's kind of like what some sort of mythological gods are based on. I mean, they kind of all are. They're kind of.
So I get what you mean. You were the androgynous. I think there's that was what you were saying?
No. Her name
They're
is
kind of like...
Andromeda.
Oh,
Something
Andromeda.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a great name, you know. And we'll just call her Charlize, right? Because it's much easier than pronouncing her stage name. Or Andy. We can call her Andy. You know, whatever.
And then what was her friend? The Kiki, Nile.
Yeah, where is it?
Nile.
Hold on. Excuse me. There was Kiki Lane, Kiki Lane was in it. Where's the rest of the cast? That as Niall, that was the US Marine lassie that had her throat cut and died and freakishly came back. You know, that was a great... Listen, yeah, we'll go through everything. We'll go through everything. I mean, we'll get a wee chance to have a proper chat about it in a second. I have to say, I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to go first today, boys, if you don't mind.
Awesome.
Because it's, to me, it was because it was a comic book, and I'm a bit of a comic geek when it comes to things like this. When they actually make a decent movie from it, it was good. Barry and I were talking backstage about this beforehand, and we came to the same conclusion about the ending, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But yes, let me do my little blurb for it all. Okay, so based on a comic book that was written by Greg Rucka, and basic of the same name. It's basically the Old Guard is about a group of immortal warriors that have come down through the ages, fighting for what they believed in to defend humanity from good, bad, and themselves, basically, as well in the process. They have, you know, lived many lives. They have watched people they love die. They have been shouted at by their own loved ones as well, as their old loved ones kind of grew old themselves without them becoming old. They can eventually die, but fate has to kind of tell them it's their time up, and their wounds just stop healing. You come across the first great big piece of action sequence when they're set up at the beginning, when the CIA chap sets them up and they get ambushed, and they have, like, you know, 20 guys empty like a 30 round magazine from each of their automatic weapons into the 5 of them standing there. And wow, you know, when they start, the bullets start forcing their way out of the skin, when they start to heal, it's some scene. And they get up and they just tear this squad of Special Forces CIA boys to pieces. But that's it, the secret's out after that. So the story goes, you learn a little bit more about everything to do with them, and especially another one of them called Quinn. Now Quinn was very good friends with Andy. They were kind of like the female Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid sort of fighter duo is the only way I could
reference.
do it. Yeah, I just made that one up, man. I thought that was quite good. It's not on my notes at the side here either at all. No, I didn't think about that yesterday at all. But unfortunately, they get, you know, trialed as witches, and because they don't die, it kind of reinforces the fact that they are witches. And Quinn gets put into an Iron Maiden and basically put out to sea, dropped in the ocean to die over and over and over again. And we learn that this happened 500 years ago. Can you imagine that? Being stuck at the bottom of the sea for 500 years. Such a great piece of, like, plot writing there, and you just know as soon as that part happens, it's obvious that Quinn is going to be a pivotal part in the story at some point, and she is later on. Long story short, the whole plot line is about a big pharma dude trying to grab the secret of immortality by ripping the immortals to pieces. In the process, Andy starts to lose her immortality, and you know, that's kind of where the story goes. I'm not going to give any big spoilers for anybody that's not watched it, other than the good guys kind of win. Okay, that's the biggest spoiler. That's all you're getting from that. And I'm going to talk about what I really thought about it with the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, great cast, good script. I thought the writing was really good. I thought the gay aspect of it for the two guys. I thought when they were in the back of the van, the whole soliloquy, talking about how much one of them loved the other one was brilliant. That was probably one of my most favourite sequences in any movie, when they're talking about sort of like, you have no idea how much this man means to me, and like a good 45 seconds later you're left sort of like, wow, that was a bit poetic and violent and erotic, and wow, I wish somebody would speak to me like that, you know. Maybe not him though, because he's quite a scary character in all essence. Somebody's doing the dishes. But no, I thought it was well written. The script was good. I thought the music was quite, well, you know, music. It was okay. You know, it wasn't crappy. The cast was good. The bad guy, you know, the bad guy in it actually looks like a grown-up version of one of my oldest son's friends. And I'll let Elliot decide who that is, because he might even know them. He'll be racking his brain now going, who? I'm not going to say, but I'll tell Paxton tomorrow. I'll make him watch it. But no, all in all, it was really good. The bit at the end, the sort of end sequence scenes, with the big fights and stuff, was good. And I kind of thought the same as Barry for this. It flattened out. It didn't sort of like leave with a big ooh, you know, because it was kind of expected, because Quinn came back in towards the end. That was the one that was in the Iron Maiden. But the good thing about that is it's like it leaves it wide open for a sequel. And will there be a sequel? Well, Charlize Theron has expressed her interest in a second film, according to Wikipedia, but I think it's too early to say whether it will or won't be. I feel that maybe a television series might go down better than another movie. Don't know. We'll see what happens. But I would like to see more of the old guard. The ugly part of it for me was, I think, that flattening out at the end. That was really that part. The bad part, the main bad guy, he was okay, but I think it could have been a bit better. That was kind of it. Story was great, action was great, script was great, music was above average, and it did sort of like peak about maybe 3/4 of the way through and then flattened out after that. But I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10 for that one, to be perfectly honest. A good 7 out of 10. Not my favourite movie, but certainly if I go on how I feel watching a movie, if I'm entertained, it's not going to get a shit score. So I was definitely entertained. And that is how I feel about it, gentlemen. Barry, would you like to take over and talk about what you felt about the movie, please?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it started off really, really well, and it paced really, really nicely, and they got over the clunkiness of finding the new person and bringing them in quite well. So it was very entertaining. The whole thing seems to have just like tapered off at the end, and without giving away too much at the end, it seemed rather pointless.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of forgiving and all the rest of it, and it's like, well, what's the point? Plus, the bad guy teaming up with other groups of people and all the rest of it, you think, well, okay, wait a minute, which ones are we meant to be against now?
Mm-hmm.
And I know they very clunkily explained why the bad guy was doing the bad thing, but I didn't buy it, and B, it just didn't seem genuine at all. It just seemed really weak in that respect, which is unfortunate, because that guy is an amazingly actor.
Which one?
The guy that sets them up in the beginning. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah.
He's got a really weird name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. I can't pronounce it. Ejiofor. Ejiofor.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, him. James Copley was his character. We'll call him James Copley. It's far easier.
Plus, he's been in so many things.
Yeah.
Firefly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, absolutely. Played the agent in Firefly with the sword.
Yeah.
Wow, what a character.
Very, very, very amazing character there. I'd love to see a series with that guy just alone.
Yeah, absolutely. The background of the agents would be very, very interesting.
And again, the ending, you could see it coming way, way, way from the start. It was a bit kind of, oh, really? We're you know what? It was like it was last orders, and they just wanted to hurry up and get it written so they could get the last round in.
Yeah.
And I thought that was right. I'm guessing by how it comes across, there's a lot that's been cut out.
Potentially, if you read the comic books, the comic books are quite in depth with a lot of the storyline, with the flashbacks being longer sequences and things, and the plot parts in the past being quite good. But the modern day part of it, where most of the story takes place, is not as it's more detailed than what the movie is.
And the whole, the person comes back at the end. And the way they do, you think, wow, are we doing this, really?
Yeah.
This is like some sort of like... You'd expect something like this from, like, I don't know, Stargate or something like that.
Yeah.
Like an okay-ish TV show, not in a movie.
This is why I think that it's potentially being set up for a television series for it all, because
it has that feel.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, Quinn. We might as well just call her by her name for this. There's a lot of material with her in it, and she's not she's obviously gone a bit fucking mad, to be perfectly honest.
But it's so cliched, though.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be great. It's going to be like a pantomime.
No,
bad
I don't
guy.
think it will be. I think it'll be incredibly predictable and bland.
Absolutely. Read the comics. You're not going to be disappointed with the predictable and bland. But it's actually not bland.
It's going to be. They're going to take a really original idea that's been reasonably well executed in the beginning, and then make a sequel that's going to be. You left me. I don't like you anymore.
Or she's just gone mad.
I'm going to do bad things now. Look at me. I'm a bad person. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Oh, I remember Team America.
It's
Team America.
It's like, what is the point to doing this? This is the sort of this. Do you know what this is? This is a John Boyega move.
Oh God Almighty! No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Your character sucked when you were the worst part of a really shit franchise that lost fucking money.
Yep.
And they didn't ask you back.
Mm-hmm. And then you have to go and say what you said just
recently. They're gonna Boyega this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear.
He was on Instagram and somebody said, I'd love to see John Boyega with a lightsaber, blah blah blah, and he said, nope, not gonna happen. I've moved on.
Oh God.
Who's John Hardboiled Egga?
Hardboiled Egga.
John.
He was the black guy in Star Wars.
Right? Oh, okay. The silver. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, do you know what? You could have milked that for a little bit more. And he says, I can do so much more. It's like, I've seen you in Pacific Rim, mate. No, you can't.
Yeah, no, Pacific Rim. He's abysmal in that. He's even worse in that than he is in Star Wars. Very disappointing.
And the only other thing that he's even worse in, so.
Hold on a wee second. It looks like the stream's buffering just now. Hold on. It seemed all green at my
bad.
Here.
My joke was a little over the top there.
Yep, hold on a wee sec, let me just say, looks like it. 1 sec. I don't know how to rebuffer it. Okay.
Rebuff it.
If I do, I don't know whether this will stop the stream if I refresh it. If we lose the stream, hold on a second. Hold on, I'm just going to refresh the screen. Hold on.
I've never actually tried refreshing the actual StreamYard.
Yeah, no,
Screen
it's
itself.
not. It's not for you. It's for me at my end. Oh, it looks a bit better now. Hold on. Is that a bit better there, Nyla? It seems to have come out of it now. Hopefully that'll be okay.
You guys are making me not feel so bad about. I was just gonna talk about the goofs of the movie. You know, like the errors.
Yep.
Now I won't feel so bad.
Still a bit choppy. Looking at the stream just now, it's still a bit choppy. Still looks choppy. 1 second. I need to keep that open. Need to keep that open. Yep. No, we're okay. And processor is sitting only at 80%. Why is that choppy then?
It looks all right now.
It looks. Is it okay now? Right. That's okay.
Seems to be.
Right. That's okay then. No, it was actually hung with my cup like this.
Why does technology have to come with words like hung and buffering and it's all innuendos? Everything about that conversation was just innuendos from beginning to end.
USB plug.
Do you know what double entendre means in French?
Ended.
Ménage à trois.
It means nothing. It's not French.
What is it really? 69? Double entendre. Where does it come from then, Barry, that phrase?
I got told once before, but I can't remember now. But apparently it isn't French.
Double entendre.
Pommez-vous omelette du fromage.
I think it's a bastardism of the French language by non-French speaking people.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Right. Give it your immediate good, bad and ugly in 3 or 4 sentences, please, Barry.
They jump away at the end of it, so it's gonna get a 5.
5, that's fair enough. Good. Right. We'll move on to the cog knacky knack knack and see what he's got to say for it all.
My good and the bad and the ugly are gonna cover 3 major errors that are in the movie.
Okay, go for it.
Number 1, the good. Now, when Niall got her throat slashed in the village, now they scream for her partner screams for help, and they don't have any medics. So they have medical personnel called corpsmen, and the Marine in the situation would either scream corpsman or the Universal Marine Corps nickname for a corpsman, Doc. Now that is a full-on, that's a character error. The bad, essentially, now, as far as how things would work, so the bullet's ejecting kind of thing when after she's getting healed. But she's seen wearing multiple piercings throughout the whole film, and those are technically puncture holes. And while she's healing, even her earrings should have popped out too, and those should have healed as well. I think that technically counts as an error.
What? Oh, yeah. I never thought of that before. That makes sense. That's weird.
And now for the ugly.
Okay.
So the iron coffin that Quinn was in, technically, because it's at the bottom of the ocean and it's made out of iron.
It's gonna rust.
It would have rusted. It would have rusted so long ago. He would have been free. He would have been free. Like probably half the time, if not even sooner.
You would have been.
That's
the
a
locks,
full hope.
I reckon the locks would have been done within 2 months, mate. with being in a salty water environment. She could have then been free and not been under the sea for 500 years. What if that's the plot line? What if she's been waiting in the wings, waiting for it all?
What if she never went in?
Oh, there's that. Yeah, she went on vacation. Straight up. She's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So she just went somewhere far away. And she's like, all right.
She went to Mexico. She went to the New World and became a goddess for a while. That's what it was. An Aztec goddess. Oh.
What if they freed her to be their operative?
Oh. Now we're getting into plot lines. Whoa.
That are gonna be better than the sequel.
Absolutely. We should write our own one now. Absolutely now. Do you remember those games? Did you ever play this game at school when basically you write a story, but you write a sentence with a story, then you fold a bit of paper over, then somebody writes the next sentence, and then you fold it over, and so you don't get to see it until it's been right round the whole classroom, and you get something stupid like, once upon a time, Barry walked to the zoo, and then the next bit is, and then, it doesn't say at the zoo, it says Barry walked to the zoo. While they were going, his pants fell down, because people did stupid things like that when they were in like primary 7s.
It only happened once.
And you only got out of jail for it 2 weeks ago. We know this. Terrible. But no, yeah, those are very valid points there, Cognac, about that movie as a whole. Roberto Scrimminger has just turned up in the chit chat. Nice to see you, brother. We're talking about the Netflix movie The Old Guard tonight. Have you watched it? If you've not watched it, go watch it. It's not shit. It's not great, but it's not shit. I went away feeling I was entertained. I will look forward to a sequel. You know, I truly will. I would think it would be.
Mo's right. It wasn't great, but what is great is the episode 3 of Fallout 4.
Yes, yeah, I watched, dude. When you took on the super mutants, you do it very action-packed style, duck and sway and hide and shoot, and actually make it really fun to watch. Just let you know.
What, including when I blow myself up?
Don't worry, I like to jump off cliffs and hopefully discover the place at the bottom before I die, just so I can rest there.
Have you played Fallout 4?
I didn't get to play a lot of it. I remember the opening. Like when you played that part, it made me like sad because that's why I asked you. I didn't know if it came out after 76 or before, because 4 still seems better than 76. The way you play it seems a lot easier or a lot better, like mapping.
John, would you like to know a secret on how to get the cryo gun right at the beginning of the game?
Wait, the one that's in the vault?
Yes.
You can get the cryo gun in the vault. Well, you use a PC. That's not fair. I can't do PC stuff on the Xbox.
Leave the vault. Talk to numbnuts. Go down to the Red Rocket. Speak to the dog. Recruit dog. Take dog back to vault. Speak to dog in that overseer's office and tell him to go find stuff. He comes back with a cryo gun.
That's so messed up. That's so messed up. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
That is awesome.
I'm gonna actually try. I've never played that game yet, but I might just have to try that on the Xbox for the shits and giggles for that. That would just be astounding.
It is awesome.
I'm going to ask, how did you discover that?
And you know, you can actually play it without actually ever speaking to Preston Garvey.
But isn't he like the main, not the overseer, right? But the,
you know, the guy that's trapped in the museum at the beginning.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you can't just say, "Nah, I'm not helping you, mate."
And that's it.
There's also, let's see, things can happen after a period of time. So if you help somebody out and do a good deed, and then go away and go off and do stuff, and come back, that nice person can end up not being the nice person you thought they were.
Wait, Wait, the allies? Okay, that scares me because to help protect myself, I got a level 39 ally because I was only like under level 20. And to get him, I had to go into an area with level 62 stuff and just run screaming my lungs out and just grab what I needed and got out of there. Are you telling me that because he's a raider, a supposedly good raider, there's a chance I could come back and just everything will be gone?
No, I'm saying in Fallout 4, if you go off and do stuff for people and they thank you for it and you come back sometime later, you could find out that that person was not a nice person at all.
Oh man, there's actually consequences.
Person.
Also, if you plan on going down a certain route that you know is going to take you down a certain avenue, you can pave the way to success.
Is that a euphemism? Is that like you saying you've got to put
Strange.
paving slabs down to build a road like the Romans do or something? I don't know. I've never played the game. You might have to build
It may be, it may not be. I may do it, I may not do it. I don't know.
Interesting. That
Gonna be-
sounds like how I made a house that bridges over water to like the Death Claw Island, so that way the turrets from over halfway across can actually just peg them every time I load the game up for the
Right.
for the experience and items.
Cognac, have you done the is it called the Ladies of Mystery or something? The Mistress of Mystery?
Not yet.
Oh, dude.
No. I'm still way in the beginning. I'm still doing like overseer stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm literally just traveling the map like crazy.
In Fallout 4, there is a radio play. Oh god, I can't even remember the guy's name. He's some sort of masked Avenger or something like that.
Masked Avenger. Tuxedo
Silver
Mask.
Shroud. Silver Shroud, that's what it's called. It's a hokey radio play where the Silver Shroud comes and defeats the bad guys and blah blah blah. There's a whole bunch of drama. If you read all the little diary entries and all the screen entries and all that sort of stuff, you find out a whole bunch of stuff about the actors and actresses behind the scenes and what was going on and the battle for money and how somebody got pushed out. Well, some of those characters actually
that's right.
appear.
There's the Underground Railroad thingy
Right, I'm going to
majigger
stop
kind
you,
of deal,
boys.
isn't there?
I'm going to stop you for
Oh.
a second. The Morgan Riley
Okay.
show's just turned up, and yeah, hi Morgan. How are you? How was London?
Everybody.
That was just to let everybody know, that was Welcome to Radio Apocalypse Fallout 4 special with Barry and Cognac, because Mojax knows nothing about the game. You can mention characters, and I'll just sit back and listen to Barry going, and I'll be like, okay.
Oh.
Well,
I recognise parts
so what
of it, but not all of it. You know,
right.
Which is good. But
So
we do have,
I'll help
we
you
do
out by
have
I'll bring us
part four.
back. I'll bring us
we
back
won't.
real quick
We will
then.
not bring us back just now, because I'm going to say I've got part 4 and it's going to get uploaded tonight. Hopefully it will. How big's the file for part 4, Barry? About 50 gig again?
Yeah, about that.
Actually, I've got it here. Let's have a quick look.
It's crazy to know how big gigs have gotten for games to actually encompass everything.
Let's play Fallout 4 episode 4, sitting in that file there. Properties, 53.9 gigabytes. Right, hopefully that should be, if we finish up in the next 10 minutes and I get that on, fingers crossed it should be done by 6 o'clock in the morning. That gives it a solid 6.5 hours. That's how long it was taking. It took about that length of time last time. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to transfer that to the desktop rather than anything else. That way it's not going through the network to come across to here, and it'll be sitting on the computer. Ta-da! Happy days. Right, that's transferring across here just now. It'll probably blow up the processor in the process, but there we go. That's just shit happens. Right, Cognac, give it your marks out of 10 for that film, please.
Okay, I will give it. I'm gonna give it a 7, and there's a very fun reason why. There was one thing I did want to leave off on for revealing mistakes without spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys will get a kick out of this.
Okay.
Would you agree? Is it unusual for an American film to even represent England so well? right? The cars were actually on the right side of the road, doing good, right?
Mm-hmm.
The local signage was actually correct. Strangely, we're doing good. America's actually like got one in the bag. License plates were correct. Good job. All this hard work was undone when you can clearly see an American diesel train going past on the English electric line.
Oh dear God. That
We almost had it.
We're
It's so
about
good. We
to lose
almost
the stream
had it.
again just now, boys. Hold on, it's going to go super choppy because I'm transferring a file, and it doesn't want to transfer that file at the same time. That's no good. Yep, the stream has hung again. Ah,
Just like a horse.
no, not as entertaining.
Wait.
Right, hold on. Why is it?
But
done
that was it. That was it. That's all I got right there. That was.
Right.
I will say though, it was fun. It was fun because I like this. I like sci-fi futuristic twists. So instead of like currently how it's monetary ran people that we would hope that one day it'll reverse, this is the other way around, and like they're starting from it's like the government starting from the ground up and trying to manipulate their way into starting the power in the first place by monetizing everything. It's like a reversal role.
Hold on a second, please. What are you doing standing at the door?
I'm leaving.
But you're making no noise in me, sweetheart. Right, okay then, we'll go through. Just leave that there, that's fine. Just go and do your thing. I've got a little boy about to lose a tooth just now. He's got a wobbly tooth, so he's coming backwards and forwards. Yep, it's waiting for it to
Right.
up.
Mr. Cognac?
Will not be long.
Yes.
We're not actually. I don't know whether it's gonna. The stream has completely frozen basically just now. OBS is fine, but it's not transferring the files across properly, even though OBS says green. Oh no, we're beginning to move again. We're beginning to move again, and we should be back. And we should be back. Now, the reason that all happened was because I decided to transfer Barry's 55 gigabyte file across from my server to my desktop there. So, apologies for that. Which lesson learned, don't transfer files in the middle of a stream. That's probably not the best thing to actually do.
You gotta make it a zip file.
Yeah, we just don't do it. That's the lesson learned there. Just don't do it at all for that. Right, okay. Without talking about Fallout 4 again there, gentlemen, what were you going to say? What was your eventual marks out of 10, Cognac? I missed that.
7.
7. And you thought that it represented England quite well. Are you assuming
Until
that,
the end when we blew it with the American diesel train.
Okay. So do you think
Because
the
cars were on the
the
actual the cars were on the right side. We didn't actually twist any of the. Seems like any. It didn't seem like from a cultural standpoint that we tried to twist anything too much, but we just blew it in the end with one big American diesel train.
I'm going to go look for that. I'm going to go and look for that because that's a beauty. Just how do you think that they would have represented the Scottish better than the English if they did that?
Well, the whole thing is we rarely ever even do a good representation at all of England. It's really funny. I would say everywhere else seems to be able to peg our culture in movies pretty darn well. We just have a hard time not entwining the American ways into other cultures, even when we make movies. This time we were just like, we did a little better this time, I would say. But I'd still rather just, I do like British shows. So because I watch a lot of British series, I will say that it still was a fine line of doing a good job. But in a comma, it's all good.
I'm just being silly because reason I'm saying that I'm just being silly is because a lot of people outside of the UK will turn round and collectively talk about the UK culture as being English. And when that happens, it's like sometimes for some Scottish people or for some Irish people or for some Welsh people, if it's mentioned as being English, people can get sensitive. If you collectively talk about Britain as being English, even though the scene was in England, so technically you're right, okay? Some people take great offence to that. I personally don't really care, because I know where I stand with it all. I am Scottish first, then I'm a member of the United Kingdom, then I'm a member of the European Union, and then I'm a citizen of the world, and a human being that transcends it all. But I am certainly not part of a Westminster government in my heart and hand. But we're not here to talk about politics just now. That's only really for the morning shows. But it's just to let you know, if you ever fall into the position where you're wanting to talk about somebody or a part of the culture and you're collectively talking about British culture, use the word British, because not that I'm criticising you, okay, about saying English. It's just that some people, when they use the word English, they're kind of representing the whole of these islands, and some people get their goat up a bit, and it's a shame. And I would never want anybody to feel that way. And the worst people in the world for it are the Scottish. We get our goats up something stupid when that happens. It's terrible. We're like, yeah, what, are you saying that I'm fucking English or something? You know? What? It can't be helped. It just happens sometimes. But I'm not criticising you, mate. I'm not criticising you. I'm just giving you a bit of cultural background about the nonsense that we have to put up with over here. It's crazy. But which part was that diesel train in that you're talking about? Are you there, Cognac? His mic's off. Your mic's off, brother.
It came down the the diesel train when it was going past on the electric line, going past on the see, that's the part where what you just said is weird. So the British English electric line.
No, it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about the British English electric line. It's just I can't remember which part of the movie that what scene it was in, roughly what was going on, just so I can look out for it.
Well, see, I still also need to I still need to watch it unjazzed too. So I only noticed yesterday what we were supposed to watch. So it's fresh for me, but at the same time, it was really awesomely cheesy. It was just cheesy, but I like cheese. You know, I like cheesy, futuristic kind of deals. But I know that when I watch it unjazzed, I'll remember what scenes properly. We'll talk about this again. I know I need to rewatch it, so it's like I know the parts that interested me the most, which was, I thought it was funny that you guys brought up Highlander, because in a sense it is a total, like what would you call that, mythological rip. Indeed, I did have to agree with you guys on that, for sure. Yeah, it
was a fun watch. It wasn't cheesy, yes. Didn't leave you wanting more. Interested to see how cheesy the sequels will be for it. Did everything that Barry was saying, I totally agree with.
Yeah.
Everything that you're saying, I totally agree with. I can confidently say I didn't think it was a brilliant film, but it was, for me personally, it was brilliantly entertaining. I was entertained while watching it. I thought, oh, that was good. I enjoyed that, but it's only because I've read the comics. And there is a few differences between the comics and the movie, but you know what? It's not shit. It's not shit.
I will have to read the comics. I'll have to actually like bring up the comics and check those out, because I also love comics. I used to dream every year to the next year of just like going to Comic-Con, whether I even made it inside or not. I would just sit outside the building and just like look at everyone in costumes, and I would see people on the outside that actually set up like booths that are in the
Mhm,
outside pavilion, so you don't have to have the ticket necessarily if you go in a
Mhm.
certain door sometimes. But I love that whole. I'm secretly I'm an enigma. I'm secretly trying to act all jockish, and then to be honest, I'm as big as the nerd kingdom as much as I can. I love it, fantasy world. Um, one more. I actually just remembered one more
Okay.
because this part you'll actually remember. I won't say the character's name because I don't know if it counts as a spoiler. So, get shot in the back,
Mm-hmm.
but in the next scene, the bullet hole was in the forehead.
And this was the what's it called? The lassie, or was it one of the dudes?
This is when Andy was the one that shot, and it was her. She shot her friend. She technically shot her friend, right?
Uh-huh.
It was Niall. I think it was Niall. Yeah. See, I didn't want to do any form of spoiler, so I was trying to avoid the names. But Andy shoots Niall in the back at some point, and then because she was running away, essentially the bullet hole would never have been in the forehead.
Absolutely.
It'd be
Interesting.
So that was the last little clip scene that you can actually, when you rewatch it, you can see it's good. It's like the coffee cup that's half full and then full in the next scene. I like those kind of
Yeah.
things.
I like those ones.
Still a
I
good
have-
movie. I'm not saying. I still say it is good. It's just
I have a deep thought.
Uh-oh. Go on.
Have you ever noticed that cosmetic surgery used to be a really taboo subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you can talk about Botox and nobody raises an eyebrow.
dang. That was like a balls deep thought.
Because they can't. They've had Botox.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Did you not realize that was?
I didn't even
joke
see that
there,
one
Colin?
coming. Actually, that was so left field on me. That was brutal. That was awesome.
Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh dear God! And on that, we're going to round up tonight's round table. Thank you, Barry, for making tonight's jokes amazing. I'm gonna pop across to that was awesome. That was brilliant. I have to say, I did enjoy that greatly.
I had a family up visiting at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We went to see the world's biggest fan. I was totally blown away.
How big was he?
I
Wait, are you talking about a real fan? I was waiting. I didn't know if there was a joke involved. This one, it was really hard. Sometimes I can't tell.
Hold on. Do we hear banjos yet? Do we hear banjos? No, we don't. What the hell's that? That shouldn't be that music. Why, what is going on? Oh, that's the one that we want. Is that the one we want there? That's good. I can't, where's the banjos gone? That's not the banjos. I can't.
Banjo's got upset and left. They've gone to chase pigs.
I think you're right, mate. I think the banjos have gone awa with it. I need to find the goddamn banjos. There
It
we
went
go.
from chicken picking to picking chickens.
They did something. I don't know what. I can't end the show without banjo music. You know? It's
Oh,
crazy.
here I got you.
It's okay. There we go. I swear to God. I swear to God. Morgan Riley said, "You can't be English. We're way too cool to be English." Is it nearly falling?
Booyah.
Do you want me to just pull it out? Shall I just pull out Rune's loose wobbly tooth live on the stream right now? I've got a pair of pliers. Oh, scissors. We'll do it with scissors. I'll just cut that little bit of dangly gum off.
Hey, Cognite.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. In Fallout 76,
Oh God Almighty! No, no, no. Do that. Let's go to Discord and talk about that, please. For God's sake, we'll be here for 2 hours. 2 hours.
I'll go on then.
Right, we're going to finish up. Okay, I'm not going to go and pull out Rune's tooth. Well, maybe I will, but off camera. And we'll be back in the morning for the early show.
I heard a really amazing way of getting a tooth pulled out.
Oh, here we go.
My dad's friend did it. It's evil as hell, but it works.
Go on, tell me, and I will tell Ruin as I
You
stand
t-
here.
You tie a bit of string round it,
Okay,
and you hold on to it tightly,
okay.
and you tell him and you get a lighter, and you say, right, I'm just going to set this on fire, and it'll actually set it free. They'll pull away, and it'll get pulled out.
That's evil.
That's pretty good. That's
That is
better than
totally
the door
evil.
jam slam with the string, or I mean, I guess nowadays you could get inventive. You could use like the string to a drone, the string to a little race car with the remote control.
No, it's better than how my little brother had to have it done, because he walked out in front of my swing in the play park, and he got the swing in the mouth.
But that's pretty.
That's crazy. We're going. If anybody
Ooh.
wants to join us in
Ooh,
Discord,
I bit
for
into an apple once to get rid of my tooth out.
that would work as well. You know, that really would. Right, we are going to.
Yeah,
go
bite
to-
in, and then when you go to release, it just unfortunately stays in the apple.
Well, Cognac. We're gonna go. All right, I'm gonna just check if you've been plotting in the background. We're going. This is unbelievable. I'm going to now officially take down your mics.
And another thing.
No. No. I can just push. I'm too polite just to push cancel on StreamYard, gentlemen. Okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You're
Cool.
you're too
Well,
much-
in Fallout 76, you see.
Okay, bye. There we go. That's the boys gone. He pushed his luck a bit there. Sorry, Barry. Couldn't resist it. We're going. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm going across to, what's it called just now? To, what's it called? Discord. Oh my god. Barry's got my brain melted. Thanks, mate. Sorry, Barry, if you're watching. I couldn't resist it. We're going. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Don't forget to wash your hands. Don't forget to kiss your family. Drink lots of water. And not to listen to Barry's jokes.